different way we're doing things for the foreseeable future. That now concludes, councillors, the Development and Environment Committee meeting, and we now move to the Infrastructure and Livability Committee meeting. The time now being 5:39 p.m. So I now open the April 2020 Infrastructure and Livability Committee meeting. First items on the business is apologies. We have apologies again from councillors Vicky Etheridge and John Ryan. Can I have a mover and seconder of those, please?
I move Councillor Jones.
Councillor Jones, and seconded Councillor Lawrence. Any discussion or debate on that matter? No, I put that. All those in favour? All those opposed? I declare it carried. Now we move to the report of the Infrastructure and Livability Committee meeting of the 9th of March. 9th of March. Can I have a mover of that one, please? Councillor Moore, seconded by Councillor...
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Diffie. Any discussion or debate? Okay, I'll put that. All those in favour? All those against? No one is against. I declare it carried. Okay, so ICL 20/12, the proposed closure of road corridors at Dubbo Regional Council Airport. Can I have a mover of that one, please? Move Councillor Moore. A seconder?
Yeah.
Councillor Grant.
Councillor Grant. Any discussion or debate on that matter? No, I put that. All those in favour? All those opposed? With no one being opposed, I declare it carried. Okay, so now we move to ILC 20/13, proposed walkway closures, east and west Dubbo. I'll have a mover and seconder first. Move Councillor Moore, seconded, and a seconder, Councillor Gumley. Okay, any discussion, debate? Councillor Jones.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Mr Mayor, I need to declare a pecuniary interest in this matter because I own property in Twickenham Drive, Dubbo, and I will leave the room and not participate in any discussion.
Okay, Councillor Jones, you'll be given a phone call at the end of the meeting, at the end of this deliberation. Sorry.
It's left to me.
Okay, so councillors, any discussion or debate on this matter?
Yes, I'd like to move an amendment to the recommendations in the report so that the recommendation would read that the report be deferred until the May meeting of this committee. And if that's got a second.
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
And the seconder? Okay, so it's now the amendment. We're debating the amendment. Any discussion or debate on the amendment?
Yeah, thanks, Mr Mayor. I'll just speak to it as the mover. Council in recent times has moved to close a number of these walkways. To my recollection, we've never voted in a single meeting to close more than one or two. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's right. I've looked at the report and certainly there are some very valid and serious concerns raised by residents in respect of antisocial behaviour and so forth in these walkways. I do note, however, particularly in respect of the proposed closures in East, that important issues have been raised about access of students to schools. And as councillors will be aware, we had some discussions in the briefing about this, and we were told that in some cases kids might be walking up to 1 kilometre extra to school. Now, that to me is a significant matter. I would like the matter to be deferred because I would like to make a site visit to each of these places. I would like to speak to residents and particularly get a gauge on this issue about kids walking to school. Kids walking to school is a wonderful thing, of course, but it's not always completely risk-free. And it does concern me that there could be potentially a large number of kids that might be walking very considerable distances extra, which could mean that they don't walk to school anymore even. So look, I think there's a lack of clarity around those important issues. I certainly very much take on board that a large percentage of the community that have responded to consultation have been supportive of closures, but there is some 20% of people in various of these areas that are not supportive of it, who have raised, I think, significant issues that we should look at with a bit more attention. And that's particularly important in my view when we're proposing to vote tonight on a very large amount of closures, not the usual one or two that we can consider. Of course, the majority opinion is important, but it's always important, I think, to bear in mind that not everyone responds to consultation. So are you really getting a majority opinion? It's sometimes far from clear. There's also issues of town planning and so forth that arise in respect of the way that our suburbs are planned and the way that access to different areas is factored into that, and individual residents responding to consultation based on concerns about antisocial behaviour might not have the best grasp of those important issues either. So look, in all the circumstances, particularly given the information that we got in the briefing about kids having to potentially walk an extra kilometre to school, I do think it is appropriate that the matter be deferred so that councillors can properly consider it.
Okay. Further comments, councillors?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, as the seconder. Look, I absolutely agree with what Councillor Lawrence has touched on there. He's certainly touched on a lot of topics in regards to children's safety, getting direct point to school and home again. Obviously, I see this as a possibility or an option for council to look at being a bit innovative. Let's look at doing things differently with these laneways, these access ways. Obviously, I get a bit concerned about the some of the options that we've got. Basically, either selling them off or fencing them. Fencing some of these laneways and just having them fenced off. I see once again we're not solving the criminal activity issue. Basically, people are still going to make their way through these fences and make it a laneway for themselves or jump the fence or whatever it may be. So I don't think barricading these laneways off is going to help in that circumstance. I really think we need to look at a more innovative way of tackling this issue. And that's why I'm certainly supporting Councillor Lawrence's view on this of deferring it, so we can go back, have a bit more of a look at this, speak to the people in the community, and actually, instead of talking to them saying, should we close it or should we keep it open, let's ask them the question, what could we do to make these laneways better? And that's where I'm sort of going with this, and obviously supporting Councillor Lawrence in his motion.
Further comment, councillors?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councillor Gumley.
Yep.
I won't be supporting the deferral motion. I think that the community has already spoken in this regard. There's been consultation with the people that will be affected by the area. Yes, of course, there are some people that have said that it may cause some inconvenience to them or their families, but the overwhelming majority of the community have encouraged council to adopt the position that we've adopted in so many other of these laneways, and that is to close them so that we can address some of these crime issues that these laneways not only create but assist. I think that it's time for council to make the call. The community has told us what they want, and we ought to support them in that regard. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Further comment, councillors?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Councillor Moore speaking. I'm not in favour of the amendment. the recommendation doesn't say that we will be fencing these off permanently. The first option is that they will be sold and offered to the landholders on each side, and the majority of them we have shut over the period of time have been sold to the landholders. So I'm pretty sure that given that the price is right, the landholders will chew this bit of land up and take it gracefully. We have been out to the community. We have community consulted. There is considerable amount of responses, over 100 responses on every laneway that we are looking at to be to be closed. So there has been an extensive community consultation on this. I don't think it needs to go any further. The public has spoken. We should take their word for it. They're the ones that live in those areas. They know exactly what goes on. And honestly, if kids aren't walking down these laneways, I think they're better off. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, any further speakers at all?
Councillor Parker, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
Look, I'm not in favour of the amendment neither. Look, the percentage of the closures, 86, 85, 83, they're all in the high 80s in terms of wanting the closure and in favour of the amendment. So yeah, I'm in favour of the amendment as it is proposed, and we'll be voting that way. Thank you.
Further speakers, councillors? No, well, I'll throw my 2 cents in. Well, councillors, as you would be aware, this is one of my pet projects, starting off from the initial laneway that this council closed in the Avian Estate earlier in this term, and it's been highly successful. Since that time, we've closed another 3 laneways individually over the period. Each and every time, we've had feedback from the local community, from the locals in that area. Each time they've said fantastic things, that this should have been done years ago, it should have happened. In fact, in my regular meetings with local police as the mayor, they even come back and say that this is a very, very important initiative to happen, that these little laneways are nothing but trouble. Now, the idea is, yes, to sell these laneways and also to block them up. Now, I know what Councillor Grant said earlier, that it's not going to achieve anything, they'll make their way through anyway. Well, actually, so far, the previous ones we have closed, exactly the opposite. They have actually caused a decrease of crime in that area, and residents are happy with the results so far. Now, again, closing lanes is not going to be a silver bullet to crime. There's no silver bullet that a local government can do to fix crime. We can only assist in making the areas safer. Now, this council's already gone down the way of putting extra security cameras in places in Dubbo and Wellington. We're assisting local businesses put security cameras in. There are so many things we're assisting in doing, and this is yet another thing we can do to assist making our community safer. The reality is the designs of these estates, largely from the 1970s and 80s, are fundamentally wrong. These little rat races, they're no good when it comes to the social element. You never see the nice little old lady taking a stroll through them. It just doesn't happen like that. They're always seen as a way for a criminal element to evade police, to be sneaky when it comes to matters in the night. It's something we need to act on. We need to act on quickly. One of my biggest frustrations in local government is how slow things take. And a lot of the times it just has to happen slowly. But in areas where we don't have to make it any worse, we shouldn't be making things worse by going slower. So I certainly speak against and oppose the amendment. I would like this to happen sooner rather than later. Noting too that the amount of people who are in favour of closures, it is just astronomical. We're looking at 86% and 82%, and they're all in the high 70s, if not 80s, in the percentage of community consultation. You can't get much better than that when it comes to community consultation of wanting these laneways closed. They are a problem. The police identify them as a problem. The neighbours identify them as a problem. I've had a steady stream of people come and see me asking them for them to be closed. Council technical staff are saying that it's a good idea to close it. I think we should just get on with the job. So I'll put that. Now the amendment. So as I said, I'm voting against the amendment. All those in favour of the amendment?
Councillor Grant.
Grant? Yep.
Councillor Jiffy.
And Councillor
Lawrence? Yep. All those opposed? I'm
Councillor
opposed.
Moore.
Moore.
Councillor
Gumley and Councillor Parker, is it?
That's right.
So 3 to 4, I declare the amendment lost. We now move back to the original motion. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Mayor, Councillor
Councillor
Diffie, can I just ask a question? In the recommendation, it says not all of the walkways are applications be made to sell the property to adjacent landowners. Am I reading that correct? So not all of them have the offer. Some of them will actually be fenced without an offer to sell the property to an adjacent landowner?
That's right. There are certain parcels of land which you can't physically sell. Now, there could be an easement going down there with pipes or something like that, or it could be a wrong land zoning where we physically can't sell it. So in that case, more than likely, council will fence it off with the big, with fencing as opposed to selling it. But the first preference is obviously to sell it. That's correct, isn't it, Julian? Sorry, Director.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, through you, CEO. Yes, that is correct. Some of the land, it won't be an option to sell for the reasons that the Mayor has highlighted. The first preference always will be to make that land available to neighbours, because that would be the cleanest and neatest way to finish those lanes off for them to be absorbed into a neighbouring property. Where that can't be the case, then, as the report states, we will look to fence it using a black and diplomat fence.
Further comment or debate? No, I put the motion. All those in favour? Aye. All those opposed?
Councillor Grant.
Councillor
Grant.
Diffie.
Diffie,
Councillor
yep.
Lawrence.
And Lawrence, so it's
Yep.
3, 4 to 3. Okay, declare the motion carried. All right, we now move councillors through to drought ILC 20/14. the drought
Oh, sorry, Mr. Mayor.
sorry,
Councillor
we need
Grant.
to invite Councillor Jones back into the room.
It's been done. Harry's done.
Yeah, okay, it's been done. Okay, we need to wait for Councillor Jones to come back online. I've got to...
Should be still online, but she went out the room.
Councillor Jones is connected. She's currently muted.
Okay, so Councillor Jones, you are there? Councillor Jones, are you there? Councillor Jones.
Why don't they just move on?
Good to go, sorry. You couldn't come back.
Let's call her back. I think that one. She's back on?
Abby didn't call.
They did ring her, but
Okay.
Councillor Jones, there you were saying, ask her.
So Councillor Jones, are you in the room?
I am now, Mr.
Okay.
Mayor. I was just waiting for my phone call.
Not a problem. Okay. So we now move on to Drought Contingency and Water Management Response Plan 2020. Can I have a mover of that one, please?
So moved.
Move Councillor Moore, a seconder.
Councillor
Gumley,
Lawrence.
seconded.
Okay, Councillor Gumley. Any discussion on that? No, I put that. All those in favour? I know. All those opposed? No? Okay, I put that. Oh, sorry, I declare it carried. Sorry, yeah. Okay, now we move to ILC 20/15, the Financial Assistance Program Round 2. Can I have a mover of that one, please?
Councillor
So moved.
Diffie.
Move Councillor Diffie. A seconder?
Councillor Moore.
Councillor Moore. Any discussion or debate? Councillor Jones.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Mr Mayor, I need to declare a pecuniary interest in this matter as I am the Treasurer of Geary Lions Club Incorporated, who is an applicant to the Financial Assistance Program Round 2, and I will leave the room and not participate in the debate.
Okay, any further discussion on that matter? No, I put that. All those in favour? All those opposed? No one opposed. I declare the matter carried. Someone can give Councillor Jones a call. Cheers. Okay, councillors, we now move on to the ILC 20/16, the increase to chaperone subsidy for Sister City Student Exchange. Can I have a mover of that, please? Or an alternate motion?
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Councillor Moore, I'd like to move an alternate motion, and that this item is deferred till December 2020 due to the current situation that we're in.
Okay, can I have a seconder of that?
I'll second that, Mr Mayor. Councillor Diffie.
Any discussion or debate on that matter? No, I put that. All those in favour? Opposed? No one being against, I declare it carried. Councillors, we now move to the report. That concludes our meeting of the Infrastructure and Livability Committee. We now move to the Culture, Economy and Corporate Committee meeting of the Corporate Committee meeting. We have two apologies being in the name of Councillor Ryan and Councillor Etheridge. Can I have a mover of that, please?
Moved, Councillor Lawrence.
A seconder?
Councillor Gumley.
Councillor Jones.
So Lawrence and Gumley, any discussion or debate on that matter? I declare it carried. We now have the report of the Culture, Economy and Corporate Committee meeting of 10th of April 2020. Move Councillor Gumley, seconded by Councillor
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Any discussion or debate on those minutes? No, I put that. All those in favour? All those opposed? With no one opposed, I declare it carried. CEC 20/9, the report of the Dubbo Regional Airports panel of the 9th of March 2020. Can I have a mover of that? Move Councillor Moore. A seconder?
Councillor Gumley.
Councillor Gumley. Any discussion or debate on that matter? No. I put that. All those in favour? All those opposed? With no opposition, I declare it carried. CEC 20/10 has been withdrawn, and now we move to CEC 20/11. Destination Dubbo International Ready Quarterly Project Update. Can I have a mover of that one, please?
I'll move that, Mr Mayor. Councillor Grant.
Move Councillor Grant. A seconder?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Diffie. Any discussion or debate on this one? No, I'll throw my 2 cents in on this one. Councillors, look, I think this is one of the most exciting developments that this council is getting involved in, a total transformation of our riverbank in such a way that is flood-proof, total transformation of our CBD, where we're opening for a community square, and also the Wiradjuri Cultural Centre is just fantastic. It's something that will really hypercharge Dubbo's tourism capacity. Very, very excited about this, councillors, and I'm quite pleased that we're actually moving forward in it too. And it's a project that is going ahead quite nicely. And I don't think anyone should underestimate the value it's going to be when we transform our riverbank. So we make it attractive, like other big, large regional inland cities. We make sure that people can enjoy our riverbank, our waterways, and more importantly too, making sure that they can do it in a sustainable way, and we're not necessarily doing anything horrible with flood banks and with flooding and floodplains and things like that, that the developments that are going on there is able to be flood proof. So it's such a win-win. It's going to hypercharge our CBD. It's going to really encourage more visitors to Dubbo. It's going to encourage a new look for the CBD and hopefully get the CBD back into that prominent position again within our communities. So it's just such fantastic news. It's such a fantastic initiative, and certainly couldn't have done it without funds from the state government. And look, I can't stop singing the praises of our staff members who have been working on this. It's just such a very, very important and yet fantastic initiative. So I put that. All those in favour? All those opposed? With no one opposed, I declare the matter carried. Now we move into CEC 20/12, investments under 625 of the Local Government Act. Can I have a mover of that one, please?
Councillor Grant.
Move Councillor Grant, a seconded Councillor Jones. Any discussion or debate? Councillor Parker.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, I just declare a significant interest in the matter, and we'll leave the room and be outside during discussion. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Councillor Parker, someone will give you a call once the deliberation is over. Any discussion or debate on this matter? No? I put that. All those in favour? Aye. Yeah, all those opposed? With no one opposed, I declare it carried. If someone can give Councillor Parker a call, please.
Yeah, back in.
Okay, very good. So, councillors, we have this later item that's come up, which is CEC 20/13, and that is the COVID-19 Rates Financial Assistance Policy. Can I have a mover of that one, please?
As the mover for to bring it forward as an item for urgent business.
Yeah, I need someone to move that it be brought forward as an item for urgent business.
Move, Councillor.
Councillor Moore.
So, Councillor Moore and Councillor, was that Gumley? Lawrence. Moore and Lawrence. Okay, any discussion or debate that it's an urgent matter? No, I put that as being an urgent matter, not to actually move the policy, but as an urgent matter. All those in favour? All those opposed? With no opposition, I declare it carried. Now we debate the actual policy in front of us. Can I have a mover of the policy, please?
Move, Councillor.
Move, Councillor Moore.
Moore and Councillor Lawrence. Again, any discussion or debate on this matter?
Yeah, just briefly from me, Mr Mayor. I think this is a good policy. It will give people in the community that are suffering considerable hardship as a response or as a consequence of the economic shutdown that's happened in response to the coronavirus. A real peace of mind, I think, to know that large rates bills are able to be deferred towards the end of the year in a way that is interest-free. And I fully support it. The only thing that I would say is that this terrible situation still seems to be in early days. We don't know how long the measures will be in place or whether they might accelerate in some way. And we also don't know what the economic consequences will be. The Prime Minister has talked about a snapback, I think, where the economy snaps back. And we certainly, obviously, all hope that that happens in the fullest sense. But there seems to be a lot of uncertainty about that as well. So I think we certainly shouldn't regard this as the end of the business or the only thing that we might potentially do as a consequence of this hardship in the community arising. We should keep an open mind, and I certainly have started a bit of a consultation process myself of speaking to people and gathering ideas about what people think council should be doing. And it might well be that in the coming months that we again turn our minds to how council, as the local government in the region with the financial resources that we do have, is able to assist those in the community suffering real hardship as a consequence of businesses shutting down and people losing jobs and all of the things that we know are happening. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, further discussion or debate on the matter? Well, I'll throw my... Oh, yeah, sorry, Councillor Moore.
I'd just like to say well done to the staff. This is a very difficult issue that we're going through and everyone's facing. We know as a local government that we should be doing our bit, and this is probably just the start of the little bit that we can do to help those people that are in need at this important stage, especially during the current climate that we're going through. So I recommend that everyone that thinks they should be, everyone that think they qualify for this should read the conditions and go forward and put in your application and make sure that that if you have any questions that you should consult our council staff. They're there to help and they have put a lot of effort into doing this. So congratulations to our staff, and I just hope the public take full benefit of it just to take the pressure off just during these hard times. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, any further comment? No, look, certainly I'll throw my 2 cents in. Look, councillors, this COVID crisis that we're in at the moment is going to be one of the most significant financial blows this country has had for many, many years. Certainly not even in my lifetime. I think that the 1990s recession is not going to have, it's going to be nothing compared to this, what hits us. We're already having indications that a lot of our businesses and a lot of our residents in the city are doing it very, very tough. We need to make sure that we can do as much as we can to keep them going during this pandemic, during this crisis that we're in as well. We also must note that once the crisis is over, we are looking at recession, or in some people are sadly saying the D word, depression. We've got to be mindful that we've got to do everything we can do to make sure that Dubbo is continuing to prosper and it's continuing to grow, and our residents are continuing to at least feel some sort of financial comfort and not being totally wiped out. This is, this isn't something like we're doing. A lot of other councils I know around the place are not going even as hard as this when it comes to rate deferral without interest. This is quite significant, and I encourage people to start working with council and contacting council, contacting obviously the front desk, obviously at the start of it, but going through the process if you're doing it tough, not talking to council now. But that applies to so many other organisations as well, financially as well. People should be talking to their banks. People should be talking to other agencies out there if they're doing it tough financially. We're in for a very, very hard time with this crisis. Council needs to be responsible in how we're spending money. We've already seen a report from the CEO indicating that we've lost this financial year alone up to $10 million in lost income because of this pandemic. So, we've got to have a very, very steady ship here. We can't afford to be wasting money. But on the other hand, too, we can't afford to have our businesses and our residents particularly doing it too tough. We need to be doing as much as we can to keep them afloat. I've set a task for this region that once this pandemic ends, that it will be the Dubbo region that bounces back quicker than anywhere else. And I think if we get our policy right, if we get our monetary policy right, if we get business on board, I think we can achieve that result. So that's what I want the city, the region, to do, be the region that bounces back the fastest after this ends. And I think that's something we should all aim for. And also, in the meantime, making sure that our existing residents right now aren't doing it, that we're doing everything we can do to make sure that they're able to keep going. So I put the motion. All those in favour? All those opposed? With no opposition, I declare it carried. Thank you. Okay, thank you, councillors. That now concludes tonight's committee meetings. I'd like to thank you for your attendance and our very, very first meeting via webcam. It wasn't that painful.